Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. So I'm gonna do a little 3-video series about that's gonna start happening now, and what I've tasked each of my family members with, Kristen and the 2 kids, is 10 questions they want to ask me. It can be any 10 questions. For Kristen, she's going into the bariatric process right now, so hopefully this time next year she'll have already had her surgery, and she'll kind of be on that same path as me. And so I've told her, you know, you can ask me questions about what it was like post-surgery, pre-surgery, during the surgery, or just any 10 questions in general, and I've given that to the kids as well. I don't know what the questions are, so these could be as surprising to me as they are to you, but I didn't tell them that there were questions they couldn't ask me. I just said, write 10 questions about anything you would like to know from me, and I'll answer them. So, I've got the lovely Miss Kristen here with me. So she's going to ask me her questions, and I'm going to answer them to the best of my ability. What? Question number 1. You've forgotten your questions, didn't you?
No. Well, I mean, I went into it as it only being bariatric questions, so
okay.
I don't know.
So now you have the option to change them. You know what your 10 bariatric questions are, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So do you want to just ask me those, and depending on how long this goes,
I'll just ask you a couple questions.
Go for it.
Decide if I want to change it or not.
That's perfectly fine.
So, whoops.
Or you can look at me.
Why did you want to have the bariatric surgery?
Why did I want a bariatric surgery? I know we've talked about this. For me, I had spent years, I've been overweight, I've been the fat kid, I've been bullied and picked on since I was very, very, very young. And I've tried for years. I've done every diet, every exercise routine. All through high school, there wasn't a day where me and my uncles weren't in the weight shed lifting weights, because we had our own weight shed. And I fenced in high school. So I sword fought in high school. I did weights. I did all kinds of cardio and stuff, and I could never get the weight off. And actually, right after we got married, I went to my first bariatric seminar, and you had asked me not to do it because you were afraid of the surgery portion of it. And back then it was very new still. So
it was lap band.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even that. Like, back then they stapled you, and there were staple issues. So that's why we've waited until now to do it. Well, and because, a couple years ago we found out you have your different health issues, and so that was something your doctor recommended. And so we started this journey together, and then you got a new job, and everything got off track for you. So
screwed up.
Yeah. So that's why. Well, that's not why. I just kind of give you history to it. The reason why is I have 2 really awesome kids, and I have this beautiful lady here, and at the time I had diabetes, and it was insane. I was doing 2 injections a day, on top of I was on blood pressure medicine to protect my kidneys from the insulin injections, and I was on all kinds of crazy stuff. Well, not all kinds of crazy stuff, but I was on all these different medications, and I was tired of taking the medications. I was tired of injecting myself, and quite frankly, I was completely fearful that I wasn't going to see my kids graduate, and that scared me a ton.
Well, you never wanted to inject yourself anyway.
Yeah, no,
your dad did.
Well, that I could have kept on doing, because you get a certain numbness after you've done it for so many years. You're just, it hurts, and you're just going to do it because you have to. But I think not being able to see the kids graduate, or if they decide to have kids themselves, not be able to see grandkids, because that was always my biggest dream in life, was to be a dad. I didn't care career-wise, I just wanted to be a father. So when the doctor introduced you to the idea and you were gung-ho for it, I got super excited because I had been gung-ho for it for a long time and I just never brought it up.
Yeah, but it was a good thing that we waited because of all the problems.
Yeah, and you're right. We've known people that have had issues, so. But that's why. So, mainly because I wanted to make sure I was still around for you and the kids. So, plus I could feel my body kind of giving out. Like, we're talking I was 534 pounds, and yeah, I was still very mobile, and I was very mobile and agile for a guy my size, but I could just feel myself wearing out. So, yeah, that was a long explanation to basically say because of you and the kids.
Did you research the doctor at all?
Our doctor? No, not really, because your doctor recommended him to us. I've researched Shands out of Gainesville, and I know they're a very good
They're the leading
learning hospital. Yeah, they're a very well-known hospital, especially because the medical school out there is one of what they consider one of the best. So I researched more the hospital, and knowing what they would want their records to be, I kind of assumed that he would probably be one of the better ones. So.
How hard was the liquid diet, honestly?
How hard was the liquid diet?
Honestly.
The 2 weeks leading up was the worst 2 weeks of my life. So the problem is that your body, especially up to that point where you've just eaten normal food, there's a certain mental repetition that your body is used to when it comes to eating. There's a certain warm feeling like to eating food, like, because it's such an enjoyable thing. And then they're like, you can basically have protein shakes, hot broth, grits, oatmeal, and I don't want to say it's the worst 2 weeks of my life. It wasn't that bad, in the sense that, like, I could do it again and it wouldn't bother me as much. I mean, now it's a lot easier, but I mean, it couldn't have been too bad because I cooked for you guys the entire time that was going on. So, I mean, it's very doable, but as a big guy who was prone to eating his feelings and who was prone to bored eating, it was very rough because I got stressed out because of it. It was rough. It was very rough. The week afterwards, that was easy. I didn't want anything. When they were like, okay, go to Blended Foods, I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Not likely. So, alright, question 4.
Why the hat?
Why the hat?
Yeah.
I love this hat. That's a lot. So I've always wanted a hat like this. I don't mind baseball caps. Like from outside working and stuff, I don't mind them. But we found this hat at a Renaissance fair, the one we go to in Gainesville. And I have a huge head. Yeah, I have a huge head. I've always wanted a hat like this, or like a big cowboy hat or something like that. I like them. I like the way they look. But I like mine more now because it's worn out and it's not that light, pretty new brown. It's like you've sweated in it 1,000 times dark brown. But I like the hat. I just like the look of the hat. I like the feel of the hat. It gives me shade on my eyes. Keeps my head from burning. That's a big plus. I've had that happen. But yeah, I just once I put it on and I like it. It felt like it suited me.
Why teaching?
What do you mean?
Well, you wanted, don't know if you still do, to be a teacher. So why teaching?
So backstory. I started out getting an associate's in network administration. I was going to do computers.
Which you hate.
And when I realized I hate being forced to work on computers. I don't mind doing it in my leisure time or for something I'm building. I can build a computer, I can build a small network, but I didn't want to do it every day of my life. And then after that, I decided I wanted to teach. Specifically, I wanted to teach English. So I do have a bachelor's focus in education.
And a master's in creative
And I have a
writing.
master's in creative writing. Why did I want to? And so that whole track was, I did all that because I wanted to teach. I wanted to teach English, high school English, and then eventually college English. I had a couple teachers kind of revolutionize my way of thinking in high school, and becoming a teacher and being able to do that for future generations seemed like something that I really, really wanted to do. You know, people say I always want to change the world. Well, honestly, one of the greatest and best ways to change the world is to teach somebody, and being able to mold the youth of America, whether it's introducing somebody to a new author they may never have known, who then turns them into a great author someday. Like, that whole thought process was behind why I wanted to teach, and I enjoy it. I enjoy teaching the kids new stuff. I enjoy helping them with their homework, and I like that whole teaching aspect of life. I want to be able to pass on my knowledge to somebody that may not have it, but I haven't necessarily made it in that direction. I still do. I would love to, I think. Will it ever happen? I don't honestly know.
If you could visit anywhere you wanted to, where would it be?
Any place in the world?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's completely paid for one time, but you'll never be able to go back.
Okay, I'll take that. So, one place
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world I want to go to.
You can only
It's
go
be
once.
completely paid for everything
Yes.
I do, but I can only go once.
Yeah, for 7 days.
Yeah, okay, see? There you go. Closed that loophole, because I was about to take advantage of it. We were about to move somewhere.
I mean, I would be okay with that.
Man.
And you can only go for a week, but the plane ride there and back doesn't count. So, like, if it's 18 hours to get there, that's not part of your 7
I got you. I mean, the smart answer would be Europe. Because everything's so much closer there, it's train rides away. So if I said Europe, we could hit England and Ireland and Scotland and
But
then
I didn't
bounce
make
over.
it a country or
You just said a place.
place, yeah.
Right, so I would...
So wouldn't you pick a place, one place? Because
Yeah.
you could go everywhere around it.
Europe.
But then you wouldn't be able to go to Europe again.
My loophole, you can't have it back.
No, you wouldn't be able to go to Europe again then.
I mean, there's only one place I'd ever revisit in Europe unless we move there. No, see, but that's just it. That whole not being able to go back. The problem is, if I pick some of these places, I know these places I'm gonna fall in love with if we ever go there. And so not ever being able to go back, I think I couldn't pick a place. I mean, if it's a place I want to visit that I'll never get to go back to, let's go to Montana. I don't ever want to. Why would I ever want to go back? It's flat. No offense to people who live in Montana. I don't want to visit a place. You know what? Yeah, I do.
Jacksonville?
No. Antarctica.
You'd never go back?
I don't think it would necessarily upset me to never go back, because at post-surgery, every time I get cold, it's painfully cold. I don't see myself ever needing to visit there again, but I would really like to see it because I have a feeling that it's absolutely gorgeous up there. So yeah, if I had to pick one place that I could never go back to, I don't want to go for 7 days either. I don't like this question. I hate this question.
I was gonna say like Canada.
But I'm sure I would get there and fall in love with some of the stuff that's up there.
Meh.
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
7 days to visit. I don't think I'd ever need to go back. But like, if we ever got into Europe and stuff, I know I'd absolutely fall in love with the countries.
There's an extra loophole to the loophole in that thing, and I didn't say it had to be an all-in-one trip.
Yeah, but at that point you might as well make it an all-in-one trip.
Maybe. Maybe you go for 3 days, maybe you go back for 4.
Yeah, but you're saying after the visit you can't go back.
No, I said you can only go for 7 days and never go back.
Yeah, I couldn't pick a place that I really, really want to go to that I can never go back to, so I would say Hawaii. There's so many places that I know if we visited, I would want to go back.
Okay.
So, number 6.
If we won the lottery, what's the first thing you would get with it, with the money?
If we won the lottery, what's the first thing I would buy with it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, first we'd have to play the lottery because we don't.
I mean, we do every now and again. But
Very rarely.
That's beside the point.
Yeah, very
I'm
rarely.
saying if we did.
If we were to win the lottery by some miraculous chain of events, what would be the first thing I bought
Maybe
with
we'd
it?
get a lot of tickets from a friend for Christmas.
Yeah, I'd set up a trust for the kids with the stipulation they couldn't have it until they were 25 or graduated college with a degree. With the stipulation that if they attended college, the payment for their housing, food, and college and textbooks, etc., would come out of the trust to pay for it, so that they didn't necessarily have to work the entire time. Now, if they wanted like spending money to like do other things, I'd probably prefer them get a job just so that they kind of understood that. Because I would say that's one of the things, like, I worked the entire time I got my college degree, and I think that made me appreciate it a little bit more. But in the event that we'd spoil them stupidly, to be honest with you. So, yeah, that would be the thing. They would have a trust set up so that they could go through college without having to worry about a lot of the things that we had to worry about when I went. Because there was no help when I went to college. 7.
Good. Would you change anything from your past? No,
and you make the funny eye things because we've had...
I didn't make a funny eye thing.
No, yeah, you did. The thing is we've had our ups and downs. We've had our crazy things. But like I said before, the only thing I ever absolutely knew that I wanted in life was to be a father. And I ended up with 2...
Not job liver.
Well, hang on. I ended up with 2 absolutely amazingly fun children, and you are the reason for that. So if I were to change even the smallest thing, butterfly effect, there's a chance that you and I would have never met. And I could guarantee if I was to change even one little thing, you and I would have never met, because you and I met through some very weirdly odd circumstances and wound up together.
Are you saying that I'm a weirdly odd person?
No. Circumstances on my end, like how we met, and we'll do a video one day explaining how we met. If you guys want to hear about that, but that would be too long of a weird explanation.
It's not weird.
No, it's not weird. It's just it's too long of an explanation. It would be, especially from my side.
Well, maybe from yours.
But anyway, so yeah, even a small change, I know for sure would change how a lot of things played out. So,
Truth.
Question 8. I don't know why I bit my thumb. I was like, question 8. I was hiding my thumb behind my fat hand. The key master. You punch the keys, He-Man.
That's what I deal with on a regular basis.
I'm not gonna edit all this dead air out.
I'm trying to think of 2 more. I went off of what I was gonna do, so now I have to think about it. Why Star Wars? Why not Star Trek?
I don't know. Actually, I couldn't tell you. It's not like anybody introduced me to Star Wars or Star Trek or anything like that. I know why. So I've always had a fascination with like the Renaissance era and sword fighting and fencing and things like that. And I just naturally gravitate towards Star Wars because of that, because there's the sword play. To me, the Jedi are like the knights, and the Force is like the whole chivalry and stuff like that. So I think the whole quote, a more civilized weapon for a modern age, kind of sticks with me in that sense, because quite frankly, if we were still carrying swords around, I'd be completely okay with it.
Okay.
So I think that's why it was just like a natural gravitation towards. I like Star Trek. I like the old ones. And
Star Trek.
I probably saw Star Trek before I even saw Star Wars. Don't get me wrong, I like William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy and stuff like that, but yeah, I think Star Wars was just, it played more to my history nerd side. So
okay. This is the last one, right?
This is number 9.
Number 9?
Well, number 9. I don't honestly know where we're at.
R2-D2 or Chewie?
Chewie.
Why?
He's got more of a personality than R2-D2 does. And yeah, Chewie. He has more of a personality to me.
Okay.
I'm on number 10. Make it a good one.
Why the right side of the bed?
I mean, depending on what side you're sleeping on, or what side how you're looking at it.
When you look at it, from this way.
I didn't always sleep on the right side of the bed.
But you do now. You have for the past 13 years.
Mm-mm.
Yeah?
Nope. The big house we lived in the middle of town.
Yeah.
I slept on that side.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, because the head would face the wall,
Uh-huh.
and I slept close to the door that opened.
Yeah, which was, so take the bed and turn it this way. We've swapped spots.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, that question doesn't count then.
Number 10.
If you could go anywhere, where would it be?
No stipulations?
No. Well, yes, you have to take me with you.
Dang. Probably Japan.
You can go by yourself.
Or Ireland.
That I would go to Ireland.
I think you'd enjoy Japan too.
Maybe. Yeah, sushi. I like sushi. Anyway.
Alright. That's 10 weird questions. I mean, the first ones are fine. You can tell you kind of lost your... That's why I told you to round down. Alright, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that didn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered because I thought they were only for the one thing, and then...
Do you have any other questions for me in regards to the bariatric surgery? Things that you aren't sure you know yet but want to know?
No, I was just mostly concerned about the
liquid diet. It's definitely going to be... It's rough, but I'm going to support you 100% through it. So, alright, ladies and gentlemen. So that is 10 questions from the lovely Kristen to me. I didn't have any idea what the questions were going to be, so my answers are completely unresearched or unthought out. Yeah, they're definitely not premeditated. So I'm going to do 2 more videos like this, one with Jordan and one with Allie. I'm curious to see what their questions are, because I did tell them, ask me any question you want to. If you guys have any questions you'd like me to answer, drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you can see when we upload. I lost my train of thought again. Just went right off the railing.
Bell. Till tomorrow.
We love you guys. Till tomorrow.